do a mic check real quick. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Check, check, 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Well, thanks for coming out, everybody. We have some very, very exciting news to share with you and the Lansing community. In a minute here, Superintendent Shuldiner will come up and take the podium. After we conclude, we'll take questions from the pool for 10 minutes. After that, we will make our administrators available if you would like to do one-on-one interviews. We'll have them here for about a half hour. So thanks for coming out, and without further ado, Superintendent Ben Shuldiner.
So formal. Good afternoon, everyone. It's wonderful to see all of you. You guys can all come here. Come around. This is your win, no, you can circle around. No, it's okay. So good afternoon, everyone. It is really an honor and privilege to stand here before you. If you remember, a year ago, I stood here in exactly the same suit, actually. I saw the video, and which is good. I can fit in it. It's bad. I have not lost weight. But a year ago, we said to the community, we were honest with the community, that our scores, our index scores in the Lansing School District were low. They were so low, in fact, that the state put some of our schools on the partnership list, which meant that the schools were not where they needed to be. And we were honest with the community. We wanted to own the fact that we knew that we were not serving our children as well as we wanted to, and we said very specifically the things that we were doing. And that within a year's time, we wanted to come back to look at what we've done and to assess the work. And today, a year later, I am incredibly proud to say that things have gotten so much better. And this is not just me as a superintendent saying nice things about this district that I love, but this is the state saying to us that there are metrics that we look at to see how schools do, and that you as a Lansing School District have done incredible work. So let me be specific. The first one that I'm very proud of is that our enrollment has actually gone up by over 100 students. I think for those of you who've lived in the Lansing District long enough, you know that over the last 30 years, our enrollment has steadily declined. But this year, it is actually improving. And we believe that's because the families know that things are getting better. One of the big reasons why we believe that the enrollment is going up is that we created K-8 schools that started this year. And what we have found is that our families really like our elementary schools. They really want to stay, but when those schools end, they tend to go to other districts. Well, guess what happened? When we increased it from a K3 to a K4 and now a K8, the families stayed. And so instead of seeing a big drop between 3rd and 4th grade, we're actually seeing an increase between 3rd and 4th grade, which is awesome. I will also say that some of the reasons why the enrollment has gone up is that we have new and amazing opportunities. I see Mitch Foster, head of high schools. I see Sergio Keck. We created Lansing Tech. We created a brand new high school that brought in kids that wanted to be part of a career in technical education. In addition, we are now in our 3rd year of universal pre-K. We know that if we start education early with Lansing, students will want to stay. And that's what's happened. We've increased universal pre-K, we've created new high schools, we've created new programs, and families are now seeing the things that we have to offer, and our enrollment is going up, which is extraordinary because really for the last 30 years, it has not. The second thing I want to highlight is our incredible school index increase. Now you might say, what in the world is a school index? Fair question. A school index is a full understanding of how well a school does. The state of Michigan says we are going to look at not just one number, but many numbers to see how well a school does. Those numbers, if you can see on the board and in your handouts, like the true teacher I am, right? Look at your handout, is that it looks at state test scores, it looks at attendance, it looks at proficiency rates, it looks at growth rates, it even looks at, do you have a good enough percentage of students that get physical education or access to arts or access to librarians. All of those things create a composite score. So what's amazing about a school index is that that's a full number that shows not just one thing like a test score or one thing like an attendance rate, but it shows a panoply of different data points that show a true understanding of if a school is doing well or not. And I stand here before you with really numbers that I find to be extraordinary. I haven't seen any other district that will be able to say what we're saying, which is that our district, so that's all of our schools combined, went up by 66%. Let that sink in. 66% increase. And the folks that are behind me who I want to thank and congratulate, and there's somebody sitting over there who is more than welcome to come up because I want to congratulate Brian for his incredible work too, is that we have done something as a district in just 1 year that is extraordinary. So there are some schools that didn't just go up by 50%, 60%. There are schools that doubled. There are schools that went up by 200%, and that's who's here behind me. So I want to take this opportunity to thank these incredible educators and to tell you a little bit about what we're seeing in the district. So the first person who is not on camera I want to thank and talk about, which is Brian Crenshaw and our attendance team. One of the numbers that went up dramatically this year was our attendance. The whole district's attendance went up by 6 percentage points. And that translated to a lot of increases for all of our schools across the district. Now, is our attendance as high as it should be? Absolutely not. But the fact that we grew by 6 percentage points is quite incredible. The other thing, of course, are the proficiency rates and the school index scores writ large. So, let's see. Missy. Come on, I know you're, So this is our wonderful principal of Pattengill, Missy Arocha, who brought one of her star teachers. Come on, you can come up. And the great thing about a district like Lansing, being a superintendent here, is I've actually visited all of their classrooms and hundreds more. I go to a school every day. And so for Missy, just to congratulate Pattengill, to put this in perspective, Pattengill's index score went from 26.48 to 59.09, which is a 123% increase. Unheard of. And not only that, the growth index score was over 90, which means that at Pattengill, the children are learning. They're doing the work. Now, 2 years ago, those scores were what they were. But last year, that year of growth that we've shown has been incredible. And I want to thank Missy and Calvin, who's the assistant principal. I want to thank all of the incredible teachers, incredible faculty, and just to show you the faces of the incredible people that are with your children that are making these magical things happen. So I don't know if you want to say anything. I know you're not, I mean, you don't have to. It's okay.
I just want to say it's because of the hard work of all of our teachers and the support from our district and the guidance we've received, but most of all, the hard work that we see from our students.
Awesome. I don't know if you want to say something.
I second that.
Oh, great. So again, like the wonderful consummate professionals that they are, they do not want to take the spotlight, but they really have been incredible. And I cannot say this enough. And the next two people that'll be introduced, the teachers in the room are what make it happen. The aides, the principals, the support staff, none of this stuff can happen without them. And that's why they're the ones that are here with me so that they can get the accolades that they so richly deserve. So the next group are these amazing teachers from Willow, if you want to come on up. I've had the honor of seeing both of them teach. It is magic. You should all come and visit them. But I don't know if you want to say anything about what you did that the kids are doing. If not, it's okay. I know we're putting you on the spot, but.
I would just say, sorry.
No, it's okay.
We can't do what we do without the other people in the building. And especially last year, Miss Williams and I worked together a lot with our 3rd and 4th graders to try to push them and use our best talents to bring out their best talents. So this doesn't happen in a vacuum. This happens with everybody in the building. And I don't think what happened last year would have happened without her. So I appreciate you, Miss Williams.
Appreciate you. A lot of collective efficacy, a lot of people just being solution-oriented, looking for solutions in the face of problems and wrestling with those problems until we found creative solutions. So thank you.
And I hope that they're willing to talk to you all individually. Their classrooms are really terrific. You should see them teach. The kids are so happy to be there. The classroom you teach in is a brand new classroom we just built, which is really cool. I think the kids really appreciate that. And just the fact that they have such wonderful, talented teachers supporting them is why we're able to, at Willow, yes, Pattengill went up by 123% and had growth indexes in the 90. Willow went up by 250%. That's incredible, right? Yeah, you can you can clap. I know it's a press conference, but they went from 13.42 to 47.03 with a growth index score of 66, and certainly their proficiency index actually went up from 13 to 35, which means that more than double the number of kids were becoming proficient and doing more and hitting those state standards. So we have a lot of to go, absolutely, but thanks to these incredible 3 teachers in the classroom, wonderful things are happening. But there's more people that deserve accolades, and that's this wonderful team over here. So I don't know if you 3 want to come over here, and then, of course, if anybody wants to talk. So these great things that happen in the school are then supported by people in the district who are in the field. And so these 3 wonderful folks, you've got the Director of Instruction, K-8 Math Science, Direction of Instruction, K-8 English History, and then the Director of Assessment. They will, of course, say their names, spell them for you when you want to put their names down. Certainly Yvonne, Heather, and Anna are incredible educators, and you have to have people in the central office that are supporting the great work in the schools, and they really need to be commended for their great work. So you've got people that are focusing instructionally on the math and the science, the English and the history, and then the assessment. And all 3 of them together help make what we're seeing here today. So I don't know if anybody wants to say anything. Sure.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Anna DePonio. I'm the Director of Assessment. And like Ben said, I wanted to actually point or draw your attention to the graph behind me. We have made strides in every single grade, 3 through 7, in both ELA and math. So every time you see a light bar on that chart, it has increased from the prior year. Predominantly, we made strides in math, 3rd grade math, and then we also made some pretty large strides in both 4th and 5th grade ELA. So like Ben said, we do have more areas to grow. We do have more growth to do. We have a lot more work that needs to be done, but we are making great strides. MSTEP actually tests our proficiency level in both ELA and math for our kids, and it allows us to help with our instruction, and the directors of instruction will talk more about that. But it helps show where their strengths are and what areas of support that they still need. So that actually is a test that we look at, and we really want to show where the proficiency levels are and where maybe we can grow a little bit better. And like I said, Heather and Yvonne will talk a little bit more about that. But everyone up here has said the same thing, and I'm going to reiterate it. It took everyone, staff, teachers, administrators. We have great mentoring communities within our schools. They are really working with our students and making sure that they are reaching their proficiencies and their growth levels and what supports that they need in the classroom. So with that being said, I'm going to actually say, I'm going to hand it over to Heather, I believe, right? And she's going to talk to you a little bit more about how that's happening in our classroom.
Good afternoon. I'm Heather Guerra, Director of Instruction, and as Ben said, I work with primarily our pre-K through 8th grade, focusing on literacy and social studies, and I'll let Yvonne introduce herself.
Hello, everyone. Yvonne Thomas, and I oversee math and science.
Really, I can't say this enough, I'm super proud to be a part of Lansing School District, knowing the impact that we are having on our students and seeing these results. I think one of the things that really set us apart as a district is that every one of our goals are student-focused goals. So when Superintendent Shuldiner sets these goals and sets these areas of focus, every one of them can be brought back to a student-focused goal. And with that, it also focuses on our mindset, and it helps us to identify, do we believe that all students can learn, and do we believe that all students can learn at high levels? And everybody standing here has that same belief and that same mindset, and that truly is the magic of the team, of how that works. You can't make things happen without everybody having that collective efficacy and that collective belief. So some of the things that we did as a team, we're really working to identify, what does that look like for our students? What does success look like? And so we focused on identifying a guaranteed and viable curriculum. What will every student learn in each specific grade level, in each specific content area, in each specific course? And again, that's not something that we can just come up with on our own and say, hey, everybody do this. It's a collective efficacy, a collective commitment from our team and our teachers. We can say it, but they're the ones doing the work. So again, highlighting the work that they've done. So we really focused on that guaranteed and viable curriculum. And then the second piece was creating consistency in the how we teach. So identifying a district instructional model, communicating that model, ensuring that we all have a common understanding of that model, that we're using common language, and then we're taking that model even further into, we're not just teaching, but we're evaluating what learning is happening while we're teaching. And then we have a really intentional focus on, what do we do with that learning, right? We don't just stop that, they learned. It's now, what's next for them? Where are we going? So I'm going to let Yvonne talk about that model a little bit and how that really focused all of our efforts in the classrooms, in the training with our teachers, with our staff, with our building level leaders, just across the district. Again, it's not a one-person thing. This is a collective effort.
Thank you. So talking about the model, was really important that we had to have a model that was consistent for building to building. So we started with professional development and making sure that everyone was on the same page. So with that, we talked about modeling, practicing, assessment, and happy that we're seeing the results that we are having. So that is our instructional model. All set? All right. Thank you.
Of course. So what you've now done is you've heard from the people that have made it happen, but I want to say a couple of thank yous for me. The first thank you is to our board. The great Dr. Nina Rodriguez is here representing the board. For the changes to happen, things had to change in the district, and I can't thank this board enough for allowing me to empower the people behind us and all the people in the district to make the changes that were necessary. A superintendent can't lead a district without an incredibly supportive board, and this board has been terrific. The second thanks I want to give are to the unions. The LASA union is the principals union, the administrators union, and LSEA is the educators union, the teachers union. Both of the people that lead that, Chuck and Jeff, have been wonderful partners, always putting the children first, always figuring out what's best for kids and best for their members. That is a true union leader, and that has been great. And Jeff, not only as the head of the principals union, the administrators union, he also is the principal of Kavanaugh, and his scores were incredible too. And in fact, his proficiency indexes were some of the highest in the entire district. And so big thanks to not only a union leader, but a true education leader as well. So it's only with the board support, union leadership support, teachers, principals, everybody making it happen. A 66% increase district-wide. There's been a lot of research on schools that make changes, individual schools, but when you see a district making a change like this is incredibly rare, and the people of Lansing should be proud that their children, their teachers, their principals, all of the staff, all of the parents, everybody is making this together. And the last thing I'll say is kind of a plea. I think a lot of folks know I'm not from here. I've been here for about 2.5 years now. And I will tell you, in all honesty, when I got here, I could understand why 6,000 families live in Lansing and made a decision to not send their kids to Lansing School District. I see that and I hear that, but not today. today's the day you come back. Like the prodigal son in Luke, the idea is you went out, you saw the world. Come back home, folks. There are 6,000 families who live in the Lansing School District who choose to send their children somewhere else. Now's the time to bring them back home. Be part of this success story. Be part of what's going on, because you have these incredible educators here and you have incredible people that care about you. We can't do this alone. It's time to come home, be part of this success. Thank you very much, and thank you for all that you do.
Any questions?
Yeah, I had a quick question. So I was looking at the data that was online, and I wanted to ask about a couple outliers.
Sure.
The Ingham County Youth Center was listed as a Lansing School District school, 97.42 as their index. Very high. Can you talk to me about that?
I can. The Ingham County Youth Center is actually a relationship that the school district has with the court system. So it's a very different kind of school. Happy to have that conversation, but it's a partnership that we have, but it's a very different way that they look at that school and the way that they treat that school.
And then with the Lansing Learning Hub, listed at 6.6. Can you talk to me about that?
Absolutely. So the Lansing Learning Hub is a brand new school that is specifically for at-risk youth. So it's a specific school with a very different kind of index that is there to serve kids who had either dropped out or were thinking about dropping out or who had not been served. And the idea that that school has any things that are positive is really a testament to those kids that want to be there and the families that are sending them there and the teachers. But yeah, the Lansing Learning Hub is particularly for really at-risk kids, and that's an alternative school with, again, sort of a different metric. But always honest, always happy to answer any questions about anything. So, yeah.
Could you speak to, you talked about what happened, with the 10 schools, I think 10 a year
Yeah.
ago. Can you speak to, what difference the state role played, like the state score, any advice or guidance?
Sure. As a superintendent, you're always like, wow, why do they gotta point these things out, right? But we knew them, right? And so what I think happened last year was not only the state telling us these things, but we knew them too, right? I mean, a year ago I stood at this exact podium in this exact suit saying, we know these numbers and we're gonna fix them. So, I mean, I thank the state for being honest and transparent and giving us the information. I think the big changes that are happening in these schools is really thanks to these incredible educators behind us. But I will certainly say that when the state highlights something, it really focuses an entire group effort. But as you know, we were already doing that. But those 10 schools, made tremendous strides. And then also many of the schools that were not on that list made tremendous strides, and that's how you get a number like 66 district-wide, is that this was something that we were doing all across the district, all across Lansing, really focusing on it. But what we're proud of is that certainly if the cut score was the same as last year, they haven't published it yet, but if that cut score was 23.88, which was last year, then all but 2 of our schools would actually be off that list, which is incredible. In 1 year to make that kind of gain, so we're very thankful for that. So. Sure, we're happy to be here for you for that. Anything for the pool? Awesome. All right, thank you.